Hey guys, what's up? This is your Yadhuvir Singh, and today I'm gonna tell you 3 sick things that are gonna help you to realize what your genes really are. You don't even know about your fucking genes. You don't even know about that. And today I'm gonna tell you everything that you should know, that your parents haven't told you, that your biology books haven't told you, everything about fucking genes. So let's start with it. The first thing that you know about genes is that the origin of genes, how it all started. So I'll tell you how it all started. So this has been taken from a lot of books, because obviously I can feel my genes up to a little extent. So it's not totally of my experience. It's been studied, it's been researched a lot, and I have took a lot of studies. I have conceptualized a lot of topics, and finally I came to this final result. Okay, so let's talk about the first sick thing, and that is the origin of genes. So the genes started, when this earth started, there was a gene pool. Okay, there was a gene pool where there were a lot of genes. Okay, and there was no life. So there was just genes, but no machine, no object where they can live. So after so many years, genes just by mistake made a machine just for whose life was for just the life of the machine was just 2 seconds. But after 2 seconds that machine died. But there was an intelligence, a new intelligence that has taken birth. Now every gene in the gene pool knows that they can live more. There is something in this world that can help them to live more. Now the process started. Now genes started struggling. They want to live. How would they live? They want to live, but they don't have a methodology. They don't have a concept. They don't have anything which can help them to live more. So after so many years, they tried, and finally they made a thing called as jellyfish. 97% water. So that jellyfish lived for quite a long time, and they got a template. The genes finally got a template which they can use to make more and more quality machinery. So this body is called as machines. Okay, so they made this jellyfish. Have you seen that if there is water that has been at a certain place for a longer period of time, you will see that fishes are taking birth in that water. And mosquitoes, they are taking birth from that water automatically due to a lot of bacteria, algae, blah blah blah, whatever it is. Okay, so finally genes gave birth to these machines, but they came to know about the fact. They came to know that these machines can die too. So they started searching, why is it happening? So it's like everyone in this gene pool was living, every gene in the gene pool was living like a colony. So it's like one kind of gene is good at expressing the color of eyes, one kind of gene is good at expressing the color of hair, one kind of gene is good at expressing the skin color, one kind of gene is good at expressing the height. So this is called as expressivity of the genes, which is the second point. We have genes inside us, okay, and those genes can express themselves in a good way, but we'll talk about this more in the third point. We're discussing the first point, that is the origin of genes and how it helped more to to evolve our DNA. Okay, so finally the genes collaborated and they asked each other, why are the machines dying? What's the reason? Why are they dying? And finally they came to know that there are some genes that are responsible for death. Okay, so all the genes that are expressing themselves, that are giving life, they collected and they talked to each other, and they said that, okay, we'll collaborate and we'll make a machine and we'll see what happens. But before making that, all the genes which were related to death, they collaborated and they said, see, we need to live, but how would we live? How? So did this thing. They change their behavior, they change how they express themselves. Those genes that give death, they change how they express themselves, they change their behavior. It's like they started wearing a mask that they are the genes that give life. So they collaborated with all other genes, and whenever a child is born, the child is born with all of those genes. The genes who give birth, those genes that express, and the genes who give death. So as soon as the child gets birth, as soon as the child is born, he starts dying. All the what was that? All the diseases starts happening to those children. So their genes started dying. So those genes are watching everything. What is happening? How many times have you did sex? When are you getting married? When was the first time you masturbated? Those genes knows every fucking thing. When was the first time you smoked? When was the first time you drink? Those genes know everything. Why? See, this is the second part. Why do they know everything? Our genes created brain. And when they created brain, they told brain that do whatever you want to do with this body, but just keep us alive. We want to live. So brain divided two things. Brain said, okay, genes, I can give you two options. If you want to live, there are two things. First thing is that if you really want to live, then you'll have to be the best. You'll have to survive. That's the first main thing. Whenever you see the tiger, you're like, oh, run. Who's saying that? Whenever you see this, your hand is on this hot fire, you have to take your hand back. Who's telling that? Genes. It's just immediate reaction. We have to save the genes. Okay. And the second thing is that if you really want to live more and more and more, you'll have to reproduce. You'll have to make more babies. You'll have to make more machines. Here we gave you a reproductive system. Go make more of us. That's it. So that's why our genes made our brain, so that our brain can control this machinery and still keep us alive. And those genes are still alive inside us from these many years. Okay, so I'll tell you what happens. Like, how do people die? See, those death genes are still inside us. Okay, and those death genes know, like you have smoked. Whenever you smoke, there are some living genes, the genes that give life. Whenever you smoke, they die. Whenever you drink, they die. Whenever you don't go out, they die. Whenever you don't do something to make yourself good, they die. Because how are they dying? They cannot express themselves. Those genes want to express themselves, but they cannot, because you're not living in a favorable environment. Whenever you're not living in a favorable environment, those fucking genes die. And as soon as those genes that are giving you life are getting less in the number, these genes that are giving you death will increase. And as soon as they'll see, okay, now's the time, they'll take their mask off and they'll be like, here we are. And then those death genes will multiply everywhere. And that's how people die. And the last point we come to, the expressivity of genes, that genes express themselves, and how do they really express themselves. So it's like, as I've told you, your genes, you have to live in such kind of environment where you're getting these kind of food, such kind of good, you're getting good water, good food, good health, you're going out, you're training yourself, you're doing the best, you're listening to good things, because whenever you listen to good things, your brain chemistry totally changes. Okay, so you are doing these things, and that's how your genes, the expressivity of your genes becomes better. You eat bad food, you live in bad environment, you listen to bad people. What's happening? You start eating bad food, you'll get fat. Genes are expressing themselves, but in a negative way, and those death genes are watching everything, how they're getting inflated, how those life-giving genes are getting inflated. So this is happening. This is how your genes are expressing yourself. So if you totally understood this video, that's a really good thing. If you don't understood this video, watch it over again. And if you really don't understood it again, then I don't really give a damn. Go whatever you want to do, but this is the truth. Your genes are living for two things: survival and reproduction. Go help yourself. Go live in the environment that is most favorable with you, because no one else is going to help you. You're alone in this world. You're going to go alone. Your genes are there. but they have sorted out their living problem. They have sorted out everything. They have given you a reproductive system, you can reproduce everything. So no one gives a damn about you. Who are you, bitch? So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you loved the content in it, and if you want to share something, if you don't agree with me, do comment and subscribe to my channel. Until next time.
Take it